And let's face it, a lot of this would not be an issue if it wasn't for the horrible job market, okay? One positive thing that I saw over this past week is how more Americans are now turning towards entrepreneurship because of the frozen job market. You know, as people are getting more frustrated with the way things are, more Americans are shifting into starting their own business, basically out of necessity, not because they want to be a business owner, but because it's the only option left. And I think this is really smart because people who do this are going to realize pretty quickly that this is one of the best decisions they ever made in a lot of cases, and are going to realize that this is the American way, because this country was founded on a bunch of entrepreneurs. Guys, everybody used to work for themselves back in the day when we first started the United States. And Revelio Labs, they analyzed millions of LinkedIn profiles between 2019 and 2024, and they found a direct correlation with the slow job market increasing entrepreneurship. That trend has actually intensified over the past year as the job openings have been the worst that they have been in decades. Also, another thing that's been heavily on the rise has been independent contracting. ADP research found out that there's been a 50% surge in independent contractors between 2019 and 2024. And this includes people that are doing gig work, delivery drivers, freelancers, and online platform workers. And a lot of the new college graduates that are having a tough time finding work are starting side hustles or even small businesses instead. And economists are expecting this shift to continue into the next year as hiring remains muted. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody should just go out and start some random business out of desperation. You definitely got to put some thought and processing into it before just doing it. You got to make sure the idea fits your skills and your passion. You know, you have to confirm that there's real demand for the product or service you're going to be offering. You got to research the competition and see what they're up to. And you got to have some sort of a business plan and be ready to pivot. But I will tell you directly, as somebody who, studied business and did business classes in high school and even did like a post-high school business sort of class, don't let any of this mumbo jumbo stop you from doing it. Like, they say, oh, you got to have a business plan or don't even bother. Take it one step at a time, guys. If you have a good idea and it's already been proven to make you a little bit of money, just roll with it and you can figure out the rest as you go. Don't wait until everything is completely perfectly penciled out on paper in order to do it. Just start doing it part-time. Start it as a side hustle first and see how it goes. Try to have some proof of concept before launching it into a full-time thing. That's exactly what I did with this YouTube channel. I started doing it part-time when I was still working full-time as a real estate agent. I didn't quit selling real estate until I was well into the YouTube channel, replacing the money I was making every year in real estate, which took over 2 years, actually. So don't expect you're just going to jump into something because you like it or you have a passion for it, and that it's just going to magically replace the income that you're making right now or, be your full-time gig overnight. Maybe if you're lucky, but don't expect that to happen. It's not a realistic expectation. But I can tell you, as somebody who's been working for themselves since I was 21 years old, I never regretted it, and I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life was to be self-employed and be an entrepreneur. Because if it wasn't for that, I would be trapped, guys. I wouldn't be happy with my life. I like the fact that, I can go anywhere and work from anywhere whenever I want. I don't have somebody telling me what to do every day. I like what I do for a living. Also, I don't feel trapped in some job that I hate. There's so many advantages to doing it. But that's why it's important to find the right thing for you if you're going to do it. And, you might try several different business ideas that might be failures, or you find out after doing it for a couple of years that it's not for you and you want to pivot into something else. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's not like you have to start a business and then commit to it for life. There's always a chance to change it up. You never have to be stuck with something you're not happy with, just like a job.